that will be their testimonial. Well, here to tell you more about what we do at Pure Own Medicine is presenter Adam Ranthel.
So for tonight, I'll keep it simple. We have two options that we can do. The first option I'll present is I can come in here, I can continue to tell and push forward some half-truths, some sugar-coated lies, or I can come in here tonight and I can present the show and I can expose everybody to the truth. So I'd like to ask you guys, what would we prefer tonight? To hear more lies or be told the truth? The truth? The truth? Good. Now I understand this is a little bit smaller group than we usually have, so please you don't have to raise your hand. Just feel free to just answer out loud or say something if I ask a question. All group participation is truly welcome. So, but good. I'm glad to hear that everybody does finally want to hear the truth. I know a lot of people probably have wanted to for quite a long time. Unfortunately, that's not what we're being given. Now, I do want to say though, before I do go any farther, that I did not actually invent the truth. I'm just here to present the opportunity for us to learn. And the first thing that I want to start out by saying, the first thing that I want to do, I want to ask a couple questions to kind of get everybody's mind open, to kind of make people start thinking a little bit. The first question I want to ask, just by participation, in this country, do we believe that we actually have a healthcare crisis going on? It's all fair to say we can all agree that we do have a healthcare crisis going on in this country. That's fair. Now, on the other side of that, do we believe that we have a health crisis going on in this country? We all agree that there's a health crisis as well? Or is it, I didn't mean to try to make it a trick question, but is it possibly that it's a bit of both? We have a health crisis and a healthcare crisis going on at the same time in this country? I'm sorry? Exactly. John, yes, exactly, John. Now, I'm glad you said that, because the first thing I want to focus on is the question why. So let's talk about healthcare. By what we think, what our understanding is tonight, why do we think we have a healthcare crisis right now? It's big money.
People who need care can't get it.
I'm sorry?
People who need care can't get it.
Yep. Big money, lack of knowledge, pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies that are as old and as powerful as this country itself. Absolutely. They do. And unfortunately, the truth is, the first truth is, whether you find it scary or you don't, the truth is that these companies in the American healthcare institution right now are designed to profit in chaos. And that's the truth. Now let's look at the other side of it, right? So the other side of it is, why do we have a health crisis?
Because of all the bad food that's out there. And we're
Okay.
push that's advertised.
Absolutely, bad foods.
We're pretty much forced.
Poor diet.
We're forced to eat what they get.
We're rushed.
Bad diet, a lot of stress, very fast-paced schedules,
There's camera on everything, nothing we eat is
bad ingredients, absolutely.
organic things that, yeah, they're costly.
They make them expensive.
They do.
Organic stuff's more expensive.
Any, environments, toxins we breathe into the air, stress at work, with other people, lack of exercise. How many people in here fall into that? Lack of exercise. I mean, everybody falls in that category. I try to work out 3 or 4 times a week, and I still fall in that. That rarely ever happens. And lack of exercise. So what's interesting to hear is that when I asked why we have a health crisis, not one person said a lack of medication.
Too much medication.
Yes.
That's
There we go. That is exactly what I wanted to hear. But also, one of the reasons why we have a health crisis is what John said, we have a health care crisis. Because everybody in this room walks around, or hopefully at least walks around, so we're not penalized legally, but walks around with some type of health insurance, right? So let me ask this question. Does your health insurance that you have, is it paying for you to be healthy?
In a sense,
Depends on how you utilize
it
it.
depends on how you
Okay.
use it and how you look at it.
So,
Obviously, everybody's in it for $1.
Actually, it's how they want to.
Well,
It's-
the
yeah,
reason why-
it's their rules and stuff, but
It is, but
for
the
me,
re-
I think I'm blessed for what I got.
well, the reason why I say that is this paying for you to be healthy? Because here's the thing. Health insurance covers two things. It covers your medications and surgeries. Now, we're all taking medications. Let me ask this question. Are we healthy?
We push on medications too much.
Absolutely.
Whether
And
you
I'm
need it
glad,
or not.
I'm glad you said that actually, because to my next point, in the last 30 years, the amount of medication we take and the potency in that medication is over 10 times stronger than what it used to be. Well, let's look at the problems. Heart attack and stroke, are they getting better? Diabetes, is it getting better? Thyroid conditions, is that getting better? Weight problems, weight problems.
So common.
Are they getting, so we can agree that these problems are unfortunately getting worse? Well, here's the thing. I'm not here to insult anybody's doctor. I'm not here to insult anybody's physician. I'm not here to cut anybody down that's in the medical field. Because here's the thing. A doctor is a person that is very, very educated, and they're very passionate. And they're very passionate to get this education, right? They put in 8 years of school, then they put in residency. They slave their 20s and early 30s away, and then they step out into the real world. And what happens to these doctors who have good intentions is they're taken and placed inside the American healthcare system. It shackles them and chains them and holds them down and tells them what they can say and what they can't say, what they can do and what they can't do. And like everybody's saying, the push for medications and the push for surgeries. Exactly. But are we getting healthier? No. And we can all agree on that. And unfortunately, the insurances that we're paying for, unfortunately, are not getting us the health that we deserve. But when you look at it, it's not just a health standpoint anymore that's being affected, right? It's our wallets. 80%, well, excuse me, let me back up. 49% of bankruptcies each year in this country, in America, are because of medical expenses. 80% of those people that filed bankruptcy because of medical expenses had health insurance. That's a very, very disgusting statistic.
Sounds almost untrue, but it's true.
But it is.
But I thought that your medical bills are not on your credit report.
Oh, yes, they are.
Well, that's
They are.
but that's a whole different, that's a different type of a discussion. But what we want to focus on tonight is overall health of each individual, which we know is not improving, and the healthcare system in general. So the way I look at it is, like I said, I don't want to cut anybody down. I'm not here to insult anybody. If you have physicians or doctors in your family, God bless you. But I just want to open everybody's eyes to see that it's not that there's something more difficult we can do. There's something that's different we can do. And if you want proper change, if you want healthy change, if you want what we deserve in our health, we have to try different, because the current system that we're doing, as we all just agreed, is unfortunately not working.
Do you think in America, let's say, it's more or less like propaganda at this point? What we eat, what we consume?
You know,
what's pushed upon us?
That's environment.
That's
That's environment. Like what we said is why we have stress issues, because, but there is hope, there is opportunity, there is ways that we can actually save ourselves by removing the medications, by putting in healthy nutrients. Now I'll explain all that here in full
I think
descriptive
there's good doctors.
detail.
And, I think a lot of doctors' intentions are good. But like you said,
Yes.
what's still thrown in the system.
They have no choice.
It's like protocol, what they gotta do.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's like it's their job. And they went all this time to school and go, half their life.
And then they're placed in a system that they can't really do
Right.
anything.
So what do?
They have to follow rules.
They fall in line.
So my question then is, before we really even get into the entire presentation, I do want to ask one more question. And that is, on your way here tonight, earlier today, yesterday, whenever it was that you registered to come here tonight, did anybody think that I was going to try and sell them something by the end of the show?
No.
Please be truthful.
No, I'll be honest. I didn't. Because honestly, I was supposed to come to the first one, which was at Cancer Road last month.
Oh, in Canton?
The one that was
Okay.
last month.
I probably did that one too.
Yeah, I didn't. It was at Roses.
I did do that one.
Yeah, I didn't make it, obviously, but then I rescheduled the dates.
Well,
No, I didn't think anybody
Well, thank you for saying that, but I'm going to be truthful, like I told you. Yes, I actually am going to try and sell something. But, it is literally going to be an option that I'm going to present you. You can choose to invest in your health, or we can continue to live the lie. We all said at the beginning that we wanted the truth, and I'm just simply going to present an option at the end of this dinner, and the option is up to you to choose which direction you want to go. Because if I come in here tonight and I present you with a show and a bunch of information, and we get inspired, we get motivated, we become educated, and I just up and walk out the back door and leave nothing around, well then nothing gets accomplished. There's no opportunity to invest in a program, to invest in your health, to make a change for yourself. So I just want to, after saying all of that so far, is everybody ready to move forward? Are we ready to see all the details of the presentation? So the first thing, let's get past this here. If I'm standing here, can everybody see this behind me? Here, I'll stand off to the side. No, you're good. I'll stand off to the side. So a couple of facts that I want to talk about first and foremost is because this is particularly surrounding thyroid conditions. I want to put up a couple of facts first before we actually need to get into anything. What we have discovered within just this year alone is over 30 million people actually are suffering from a thyroid disorder. And the problem with that is almost 15, maybe even over 15 million people of them go undiagnosed each and every year. And they continue to keep going forward and blaming it on different things like stress or PMS or weight gain and this, that, and the third. But I'll explain to you how those things are attributed actually to a thyroid problem. And unfortunately, one of the statistics that we do need to focus on, just because it is what it is, females are 5 times more likely than males to experience a thyroid condition, unfortunately. And I will explain why in just a little bit. But the problem also is that 20% of diabetics will have a thyroid issue, because those two particular diseases and situations are actually connected to each other. And I'll explain to you what it is that actually bridges those two disorders together. Because a person that has diabetes can develop thyroid, and a person that has thyroid can very easily develop diabetes. As a matter of fact, 20% of the diabetics will have thyroid issues. 70% of the people with thyroids will get diabetes. So, first thing I want to bring up is a very, very, very simple question. When you see this dead, dying, wilting plant right here, what do we think it needs to fix this plant? Water, nutrients, somebody said sun,
air.
It's almost like everybody was already at the show. Water, nutrients, sunlight. Or maybe even we go a little bit farther and we look at it, the soil might be contaminated. We put it in some new soil, remove a toxin from the dirt, right? But do you want to know what is so interesting about what I just asked? Not one person in any show I've ever done, whether it be at Roses, whether it be here, whether it be in Ann Arbor, anywhere in the state, not one person in any show has ever said, you know what, Adam? That plant is dying because it doesn't have enough medication. Not one person's ever said that. But here's the scary thing, though. Here's what really upsets me, because when we see a person that looks like that, take him to the doctor, get him a medicine. He might need a surgery. Put him on a program. Get him medicated. Fix him, antibiotic. But why, when we see a plant, which is a very basic, simple organism, we think of natural, non-medication, non-surgical procedures to fix it?
I didn't know there was a medication for a plant, so that's why my initial thought is that's not great.
And as everybody else's, though. But here's the thing. Like John had mentioned, propaganda. Let's think about this. Why do we think this way? Right? Does anybody here know the most utilized website in the United States of America right now?
WebMD.
Yes. WebMD. WebMD is the most utilized website in the United States because, let me get this going here. As we spoke about before, pharmaceutical companies each year are spending billions of dollars. You see it on the TV ads. You see it on social media when you scroll through the timeline. You see it in your newspaper. You see it in your magazines. You hear it on the radio. You watch a walking billboard, a person that has 7 pills in their purse come by and tell you what medicines are on. It's continuous pushing of pharmaceuticals and making us think that we need a medication to fix our life. Because when you go on WebMD, it's very simple. You type in symptoms. Increased cravings for sugar, unstoppable urination, fatigue after meals, migrating headaches,